Have you ever found yourself in a store just staring at a wall of, say, coffee brands and you just pick one? Why that one? Or what about that new gadget you just had to have? What was really going on in your head? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the invisible forces that are behind every single purchase we make. And to kick things off, let's get personal.
Go on, really think about it. The last thing you bought, was it something you absolutely had to have for, survival? Or was it an impulse thing, something you just wanted? That little difference right there between needing and wanting, that is the absolute key to unlocking this whole topic.
All right, so let's dive into our first section, why we buy. Because look, every single ad you see, every slick store layout, it all boils down to this one simple but incredibly powerful idea. It's the gap between what you actually need and what you've been convinced you want.
So here's how you can think about it. We all need food to live, right? That's just biology. But you probably don't need a specific hamburger with a side of fries. You want it. And that want, oh man, that's been crafted by everything around you. Your culture, advertisements, maybe even what your friend had for lunch yesterday. And this is so important to get. Marketers aren't out there creating brand new needs for you. No, they are masters at creating super compelling wants that promise to satisfy those needs.
Okay, so if these needs are so deep-seated in all of us, where do they even come from? Well, that leads us perfectly into our next section, which is all about a little something called the pyramid of needs. You've probably seen it before. It's one of the most famous ideas in all of psychology.
This right here is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Think of it like a video game. You can't get to the next level until you've completed the current one. Down at the bottom, level 1, you've got your basic survival stuff, food, water, a roof over your head. Once you've got that sorted, you can move up to level 2, safety and security. Then you've got level 3, which is all about love and belonging, friends and family. Above that, level 4 is esteem, feeling respected and confident. And right at the very top is self-actualization, becoming the best version of you. The crazy thing is, most of us are constantly climbing this pyramid, and our shopping carts totally give away which level we're working on. I mean, a home security system, that's a level 2 safety purchase. A fancy watch, that's screaming level 4 esteem.
But here's the thing, that pyramid, our internal needs, that's really only half the story. The minute we've got our basic needs covered, it's like a whole universe of other forces starts, pulling our strings. And most of the time, we don't have a clue it's even happening.
And the biggest, broadest force of all is your culture. Where you grew up, the social class you're in, it basically sets the entire stage for what you'll want in life. Just think about it, right? In some places, the ultimate sign of making it is a big SUV for the family. In another place, it's having the absolute latest smartphone. Culture is what draws the line between normal and weird, and it's been shaping your desires since the day you were born.
Now let's zoom in a little bit from that big cultural bubble. Let's talk about your social circles, your friends, your family, your coworkers. I mean, think about it. Why do you suddenly want to try that new restaurant everyone at work is talking about? Or why do you feel a little pressure to have the same kind of phone as all your friends? It's subtle, for sure, but that social pressure is powerful. We're wired to want to fit in.
And when we talk about social groups, there is one that is king, queen, and the entire royal court combined, the family. It is, without a doubt, the most important buying organization out there. The brands your parents used, the money habits they taught you, and oh boy, if you have kids yourself, you know the kind of influence they have on literally everything that goes into the shopping cart. It is a true powerhouse.
Okay, get ready for this number. $300 billion. And that's annually, just in the US. Now listen, that's not money that kids are spending themselves. Nope, that's the amount of parental spending that is directly influenced by what their kids want. We're talking everything from which sugary cereal gets bought to which minivan ends up in the driveway. Never, ever underestimate the economic force of Pester Power. It is massive.
Okay, let's zoom in one more level, all the way down to you. Just you, the individual. Because let's be real, a 22-year-old starting their first job is going to buy way different stuff than a 55-year-old who's planning for retirement. Your age, what you do for a living, your hobbies, all of these things come together to create your own unique, personal consumption fingerprint. And then finally, all of these outside forces, culture, friends, your job, they all have to get past the final gatekeeper, your own brain. What's your real motivation? When you see an ad, do you see something helpful or just something annoying? Have you been burned by a brand before? All these little psychological gears turning in your head, they make the final call.
Okay, so we've talked about all the forces pushing and pulling on us, But how does all that stuff actually turn into you handing over your money for something? Well, that brings us to our next big idea, what we call your 5-step buying journey. And you might be surprised to learn that for most purchases, we all follow a very predictable path. Let's walk through it with an example. Say, buying a new phone. Okay, step 1, problem recognition. Your current phone is painfully slow. You've got a problem. Step 2, information search. You start Googling reviews, you ask your techie friend for advice. Step 3, evaluation of alternatives. You're weighing the pros and cons, should you go with this brand or that brand? Step 4, the purchase decision. You finally pick one and buy it. But wait, the journey isn't actually over. Because now comes step 5, post-purchase behavior. And this is where that feeling of buyer's remorse can creep in. You know that feeling, right? Did I make the right call? Maybe I should have gotten the other one. It's completely normal, especially for bigger purchases. And you know what? The really smart companies, they know you're going to feel this. That's why they'll send you a nice welcome email or have amazing customer support, all to make you feel good and confident about your decision.
All right, and now we get to the big payoff. This whole personal journey, this 5-step map we just walked through, this is not some big secret that companies are trying to figure out. No way. In fact, this is their blueprint. It's the absolute foundation of their entire marketing plan.
This is where it all connects. Every single step you take on that journey is a chance for a company to meet you there. See, marketing isn't just about making a funny commercial. It's a highly strategic plan designed to influence you at every single stage, from the moment you realize you have a problem all the way to calming down that buyer's remorse.
And this is basically what their playbook looks like. First, they do their homework, analyze everything, and figure out exactly who their target audience is. That's you. Then, they build their whole game plan around something called the marketing mix, which you might know as the 4 Ps. They develop the right product, they figure out the perfect price, they make sure it's available in the right place, and then they create the promotion to make sure you hear about it at exactly the right time.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, the next time you're walking down a store aisle or just scrolling online, I bet you're going to see things differently. You'll spot the needs they're targeting. You'll feel those cultural and social nudges. You'll recognize exactly which step of your buying journey they're trying to meet you at. Because now, you're not just a passive consumer. You're an informed player in the game. And that, my friends, is some real power.